Today we're going to do a brisket, and we're going to prep it for being sous vide and smoked. So we're going to take it apart, we're going to separate it into a few different pieces, and then we're going to try a couple of different things with it. So first thing we need to do is take the point off. So we're just going to go down through the side fat. And you can kind of see where it goes down and separates. So I'm not a big remove all the fat person, because especially when it's going to go on the smoker, you want it to be a little more fat because it'll meld into the meat. So I don't take off too much fat, but I'm going to take off a little bit just so you can kind of see where the point is. And we'll take some additional fat off for the part we sous vide, because we found out last time we did this that the sous vide doesn't really break down the fat as much, although it is going to be in the sous vide for about 60 hours, so it will break down. We're going to fry it after we've sous vide it. We're just going to see what the difference is between smoking it and frying it and sous videing it and frying it. Kind of do a little experimenting. Alright, so I got them cut up, and we're going to put one in the sous vide. This is a Nova Precision 1000 watt. We're going to put it in here and let it go for about 60 hours at 135. And then we're going to season everything the same. So this is going to go into the smoker. So we're just going to season this up and let it rest for a little bit, and then put it on a hot smoker. And then let it go slow and low for about 24 hours. So you want to season generously. This big flat we're going to cut in half. Half of it's going to go on the smoker and half of it's going to go in the sous vide. Here we go, it's all vacuum packed, ready to go in the sous vide. We're going to put it in 135 for about 60 hours. And we'll check it and see what it looks like in about 3 days. I pulled this meat out of the refrigerator. I let it sit in the refrigerator just to let it dry out. It's got the seasoning on it when I cut it up the other day. So this is, again, we're going to do it in 2 different sections. We're going to take this flat and put it on the smoker. It's going to go on the smoker tonight. We've got it all set up. It's going to go about 212 for approximately 12 hours. We do have a control system that will allow that to stay in that zone. So I'll pull that off tomorrow morning, and we'll let it set and rest. And then the point we're going to put in the fryer after it's rest as well. I also showed that I put together a sous vide part of the brisket, which is the other half of the flat, and it's been in for approximately 30 hours to this point. So we're going to give that another 30 hours, and it's going to be a total of 60, and we're going to fry that one, and then we'll see which one we like the best. Got the meat out of each location. So this is the sous vide. I sous vide it for 60 hours. So we're going to take this and I let it dry in the refrigerator for about 4 or 5 hours. I pulled it out. We're going to get it room temperature. We're going to throw it in the fryer. This one just got off the smoker, so you can see that it's got a nice char on it. It's very fragrant. Still real juicy. I pulled it off about 190. And then this is the flat, and this is the point, and I just took the same as this, did it the same way, and I took it and made bits out of it, and we're going to fry these bits into essentially burnt ends. That's how we're gonna do these. We're gonna put the burnt ends in, so it's just again that cubed up point. We got the oil heated to 350. We're just gonna throw those in there. About 3 minutes. So here they are. They've been in for about 3 minutes. You can see some of them floating to the top. The fat that's in there gets nice and firm and tasty. This is the sous vide brisket going into the fryer. 350 for about 5 minutes. It's been in for about 5 minutes, and you can see the fat got nice and brown. Look at how beautiful that is. So we'll take this in and we'll let it rest, and then slice it up and do the comparison. These are the 3 pieces of meat I did. This is the one that was sous vide and fried, so you can see we've let it sit and rest for a few minutes, so it's nice, firm. This was the one that we did in the smoker. It's warm, still a little warm. And then these are the little bits we did. So I just tossed these with a little bit more of the salt, pepper, and garlic. I did garlic powder. So we're gonna try these and see what they taste like. Be kind of a fun comparison. Oh, it's juicy. So I sous vide this one for 60 hours. So it's already cooked before we put it in the fryer. We put it in the fryer for just 5 minutes to get a nice crispy crust on it. It's not traditional, but you could see it's nice and juicy. It's done nicely. So this is it all sliced up and plated. They're very different. The one that was on the smoker, it's got a nice smoke ring on it. It's a little drier, kind of falls apart. It's delicious. And yes, I said delicious. But it's a very different texture. This one is more dense. It doesn't fall apart as much, but it's really tender. This one has more of a smoke flavor, obviously. And this one has more just the seasoning flavor, the salt, pepper, and garlic that I put on it. So, and this one is totally different, even though it was done in the fryer after it was smoked. It's got a very different texture as well. This was the point, got a lot more fat on it. And they're really, the fat makes them a little chewy after we fried them. So it has a very different texture as well. Can't tell you which one I like best, because I like all of them. But they are very different in their style and the flavor. But it's kind of fun to fry and sous vide this one.